Have you ever found yourself wondering what makes you happy? Or, have you ever experienced a moment of pure bliss that made you feel like you were on top of the world? We all strive for happiness, but what exactly does it mean to be happy? And, is there a way to achieve true, lasting happiness? These are some of the questions that we will explore in this video. Defining happiness. Before we can understand what makes us happy, we need to first define happiness. Happiness can be defined as a state of well-being and contentment, characterized by positive emotions such as joy and fulfillment. To better understand this concept, let's explore the different types of happiness. There's the fleeting happiness that we experience from external factors, such as buying a new car or going on a vacation. While these experiences may bring us joy at the moment, they are often short-lived and can quickly fade away. On the other hand, there's the deeper and more long-lasting happiness that comes from within. This type of happiness is not dependent on external factors but rather is rooted in our internal state of being. It's characterized by a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and contentment that is not easily swayed by external circumstances. So, how can we cultivate this deeper type of happiness? One way is by focusing on the things that truly matter to us, such as our values, passions, and relationships. When we align our lives with what matters most to us, we are more likely to experience a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Another way is by practicing gratitude and mindfulness. When we take the time to appreciate the small things in life and stay present at the moment, we can cultivate a greater sense of contentment and inner peace. It's important to note that while external factors can certainly contribute to our happiness, they are not the sole determinant. In fact, research has shown that our genetics and personal disposition play a significant role in our overall level of happiness. That being said, we still have the power to influence our happiness through our actions and habits. By cultivating positive habits and focusing on what truly matters to us, we can increase our overall sense of well-being and lead a more fulfilling life. The science of happiness. The science of happiness is a fascinating area of research that has been gaining momentum in recent years. Thanks to advances in psychology and neuroscience, we have gained a deeper understanding of what makes us happy and how we can cultivate a greater sense of well-being in our lives. One of the key findings in this field of study is that happiness is not simply a fleeting emotion, but rather a complex biological state. When we experience positive emotions such as joy, contentment, or satisfaction, our brain releases dopamine, a chemical that is associated with pleasure and reward. But dopamine is just one of several chemicals that contribute to our experience of happiness. Serotonin, for example, is a neurotransmitter that is associated with feelings of well-being and happiness. It is often referred to as the happy chemical because it plays a significant role in regulating mood, appetite, and sleep. Similarly, oxytocin is a hormone that is released during social bonding experiences, such as hugging or kissing, and is often referred to as the love hormone because of its role in promoting trust and affection. Beyond these chemical factors, researchers have also identified several habits and practices that can increase our overall sense of happiness and well-being. Furthermore, researchers have found that certain habits and practices can increase our overall sense of happiness and well-being. Building meaningful relationships. Having strong social connections and a support system is essential for our overall well-being and happiness. In fact, studies have consistently shown that people who have meaningful relationships with friends, family, and loved ones tend to be happier and more satisfied with their lives. When we feel connected to others, we experience a sense of belonging and purpose that can be incredibly fulfilling. We have people to share our joys and sorrows with, people to turn to for support and encouragement, and people who truly know us and accept us for who we are. But building and maintaining meaningful relationships requires effort and intentionally. It's not enough to simply have people in our lives, we need to invest time and energy into cultivating these relationships and nurturing them over time. This can mean regularly reaching out to loved ones to check in and see how they're doing, making time for shared experiences and activities, and being open and vulnerable with one another. It can also mean setting healthy boundaries and having honest conversations when issues arise, rather than sweeping them under the rug. Practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating a greater sense of happiness and well-being in our lives. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and yoga, have been shown to have a wide range of benefits for both our physical and mental health. One of the key benefits of mindfulness is that it can help us to cultivate a greater sense of inner peace and calmness. By focusing our attention on the present moment and letting go of distractions and worries, we can quiet our minds and create a greater sense of clarity and tranquility. This inner peace and calmness can have a profound impact on our overall sense of happiness. When we are able to cultivate a greater sense of peace and stillness within ourselves, we are better equipped to handle the stresses and challenges of daily life with greater ease and resilience. Furthermore, practicing mindfulness can help us to develop a greater sense of self-awareness and self-compassion. By learning to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we can become more attuned to our own needs and feelings, and develop a greater sense of empathy and compassion for ourselves and others. Expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude is a simple but powerful way to cultivate a greater sense of happiness and well-being in our lives. When we take the time to appreciate the small things in life and express gratitude for what we have, we shift our focus away from what we lack and toward what we already have. Research has shown that expressing gratitude can have a wide range of benefits for our mental health and overall sense of well-being. For example, studies have found that people who practice gratitude regularly experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression, and report higher levels of life satisfaction and happiness. Furthermore, expressing gratitude can help us to cultivate a greater sense of empathy and compassion for others. When we take the time to acknowledge and appreciate the kindness and generosity of others, we are more likely to feel a sense of connection and community with those around us. There are many simple ways to practice gratitude in our daily lives, from keeping a gratitude journal to simply taking a few moments each day to reflect on the things we are grateful for. By cultivating a regular practice of gratitude, we can shift our focus toward the positive aspects of our lives and cultivate a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment. Pursuing personal growth. Pursuing personal growth is an essential component of a fulfilling and happy life. Engaging in activities that challenge us and promote personal growth can not only expand our skill sets but also increase our overall sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. When we pursue personal growth, we challenge ourselves to step out of our comfort zones and push ourselves to achieve new levels of success. This can help us to build confidence and resilience, as we learn to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. Furthermore, pursuing personal growth can help us to cultivate a greater sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. When we engage in activities that align with our values and goals, we are more likely to feel a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in our lives. There are many ways to pursue personal growth, from learning a new skill or hobby to pursuing further education or training. By taking the time to invest in our own personal growth and development, we can cultivate a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment in our lives. By understanding the science behind happiness and incorporating these habits and practices into our daily lives, we can cultivate a greater sense of well-being and happiness. So if you're interested in learning more about how you can increase your own happiness and sense of fulfillment, stick around for the rest of this video. The pursuit of happiness. Many of us are constantly in pursuit of happiness, whether it's through self-improvement, personal growth, or success. While these can certainly contribute to our happiness, it's important to remember that happiness is not something that can be achieved through external factors alone. It's an inside job, and true happiness comes from within. In fact, research has shown that our level of happiness is largely determined by our thoughts, behaviors, and attitudes. By adopting a positive mindset, focusing on the present moment, and cultivating gratitude and self-compassion, we can increase our overall sense of well-being and happiness. It's also important to recognize that happiness is not a constant state, and experiencing negative emotions is a normal and healthy part of the human experience. Instead of striving for a life free of pain or discomfort, it's more productive to focus on building resilience and learning to navigate difficult emotions in a healthy way. Ultimately, the pursuit of happiness is a personal journey, and what brings happiness and fulfillment to one person may be different from another. By prioritizing our own well-being and focusing on the things that bring us joy and meaning, we can create a life that is truly fulfilling and happy. Furthermore, it's essential to understand that the pursuit of happiness is not a destination but a continuous process. It requires consistent effort and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. Developing healthy coping mechanisms, setting realistic goals, and embracing failure as an opportunity for growth are all important components of this process. It's also worth noting that happiness is not a selfish pursuit. When we prioritize our own well-being, we are better equipped to show up for the people around us and contribute to our communities in meaningful ways. By cultivating happiness within ourselves, we can create a ripple effect of positivity and make the world a better place. Happiness is a complex and multifaceted concept, but it's also one that can be understood and cultivated through positive habits and practices. By defining what happiness means to us, understanding the science behind it, and cultivating positive habits, we can achieve a greater level of happiness and fulfillment in our lives. If you'd like to learn more about the surprising science of happiness, be sure to watch our recommended video, The Art of Being Yourself, at the end of this video. And, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more videos on personal growth and self-improvement. Thanks for watching.